y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and I'm working on my podcast, but the podcast I want you to check out is the Rome Show podcast. I heard they doing it right.
And we are live. Welcome to the Rome Show. I got a CT special guest. James, how you doing?
It's good to see you, man. I appreciate you taking the time to have me on. I'm happy to be here, happy to chop it up with you, and I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Yeah, I appreciate you for coming on the podcast. So for the people on my platform that don't know, you are internationally published fitness model, CT bench press state record holder, and a TV fitness contributor to NBC CT Live, and you're also an athlete on NBC's Ninja Warrior, correct?
Yes, sir. That's all correct. And what an intro that was. Thank you for that. Yeah, but yes, that's all correct.
Definitely. That's quite a resume you got there.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, I've been immensely blessed with the opportunities that I've been afforded, and with the drive and the ambition to go out and chase what I want to accomplish in life. So those two things together have gotten me pretty far at the age of 26, and I'm really just getting started. I know it sounds cliche, but I truly am. From what I've done so far is amazing, and I'm very happy with that. But there is so much more that I want to accomplish.
Right. Big things. And are you from Connecticut?
I am. I'm born and raised. I was born and raised right in Connecticut, so I'm very local.
Nice. So the Ninja Warrior show, how did you get on that?
Man, it's quite the story. The show's been on for a long time. It's been on for 17 seasons. So I started watching the show when I was a kid. And you're a kid, you watch the show, you see the athletes, they're swinging from obstacles and they're on TV. And, I thought it was cool. I thought these guys are cool. They're in great shape. They're athletic. I want to do that. And then I thought to myself, why can't I do that? I could, why do they get to do it and I don't? So I started training, and I basically adopted a life of health and fitness, not only for the health and fitness aspect of it, to look good and to be healthy, but also with the specific goal of being on the show, competing on the show, and really achieving that goal and that dream of mine that I first adopted when I was a kid. So life goes on, and I'm in school, and I tell everyone in school I'm going to do it. I write it in my high school yearbook. I did a year-long research project in high school about how I'm going to be on Ninja Warrior, and how it's going to propel me to new heights, and how being on the show is going to be a huge catalyst for other big things in my life. And at the age of 25, I submitted to the show for the first time. I sent in my submission video, filled it all the paperwork, and I got the call from NBC a couple weeks later, and they said, "James, we loved your submission. We'd love to have you on the show." And that was it. NBC flew me out to Las Vegas, where they shot. I was put up in a hotel, obviously, and I was paid for my time on the show and stipend and all that good stuff. And I got to compete and be on the course, run the obstacles, meet all the athletes, and I ended up being on TV too.
Nice. You a big timer now.
What was that?
You a big timer now.
Yeah, yes, exactly. It was a big time. It was a big time. I was happy. I was very happy, and it was a culmination of what I set out to do years prior. So I was very happy to make that happen.
Right. And during the process, how important is because everybody, they like the success, the big shows. How important to you was the training part, like the days alone, the days you're not motivated and you're in that training process?
That's a great question. That's the process. What you see on TV and the Instagram photos people post afterwards, that's 1% of what it takes to do that. So that's the lights and the fame and the glamour that people see. But what they don't see is the years in the gym, the hours of training every day, 5, 6, 7 days a week. And that's what separates people that say they want to do things and people that actually go and do things. 'Cause a lot of people can say, "I want to be a Ninja Warrior. I want to be on TV. I want to be an athlete." Insert whatever the goal is. But it's the people that say that and then say, "Okay, I have this goal. What am I going to do about it? I got to make a plan. I got to figure out how I'm going to make this happen." And that's what separates people. So the training was tough. There's some days you wake up, your back hurts, you're tired, you got personal stuff going on. You don't want to train, but you got to do it anyway. There's stuff that you don't want to do, and you got to do it. In this case, for me, it was training. Training's not always fun. It's not always easy. It's not always convenient to your schedule or conducive to your schedule. But at the end of the day, if you want to be great at anything in life, it's going to take sacrifice. So the long days in the gym, those were pivotal to me being able to be on the show and be successful.
Right, and that's a good point. Getting through the days, did you have a lot of support, or it was just you day to day?
I'm very blessed to have a wonderful support system. I have two loving parents at home. I have a fiance who supports me through everything I do, a brother and sister. So thankfully, I had an amazing support system. So I'm not going to lie to you and give you one of those stories where I said, it was all me and I started from the bottom, because that's just, for me, not necessarily the case. I did have a very strong base and support system of people that cheered me on, and I'm very thankful and lucky for that. So I was very lucky to have a lot of great people in my corner and a lot of support as I navigated through this endeavor.
Right, yeah, that's a good thing. And you mentioned that you visualized it, you put it out there. You said, I'm gonna get on this Ninja Warrior show.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you get any like people telling you, like laughing at you, like, yeah, right, or nah, you can't get on there? Did you get any of that?
Absolutely. And that comes with the territory, right? That comes with the territory. There's always going to be people in life that like you and support you and want to see you do well. And unfortunately, there's always going to be people in life that want to see you fail and don't want you to succeed because it makes them feel inferior because they're not doing what they want in their life. And of course, when you say that you're going to do great things, there's going to be people that are insecure and that they try to tear you down or they try to make you feel less than. And I absolutely did have my fair share of that, especially growing up, because it was a goal that I had for a long time. It wasn't just a goal I had for a year or two. I've had this goal since I was a kid. So throughout the years, there were definitely people that tried to stifle my idea and my dream. But at the end of the day, you shrug that off. It's water off a duck's back, and you keep on pushing forward.
Right, and in the middle of like you telling somebody you're real excited, and then like their energy was like, okay, like, yeah, right. How do you pivot about that?
Thankfully, I think I do pretty well when it comes to people. So I try not to get too emotional either way. I try not to get too high on things or too low on things. So if someone is rude or if someone does try to bring my mood down, it doesn't really bother me. I understand that that's more of a referendum on them and how they're feeling than it is on me. So I try not to give it too much of my time. I try not to give it too much power. I accept it if that's what you want to say, or if that's how you want to think. Then that's okay. But I'm not gonna let you bring me down, and just keep it pushing.
Right, good one right there. And so you're also a fitness contributor for NBC. How did you make that happen?
Man, I'm a very goal-oriented person, and a lot of the goals I have, I will work very hard to achieve them. And being on NBC Connecticut and being on TV and contributing a fitness segment was one of those goals I've had for a long time. And once I kind of latch on to something, I work really hard to try to make that come true. So the way I got on NBC was I started sending emails. That was really it. I have, like you said in the beginning, a decent resume, if you want to call it. And I said, I know with this resume, if I put this in front of someone who is a decision maker, whether it's a booker or a producer or a host, I think they would be interested in having me on. So I started sending emails. I started researching who I need to message, what their names are, what their roles are inside NBC, and then I found their contact information, whether that was their email or their LinkedIn, and I started sending emails. And I did that for a while. I did that for about 5 or 6 months with no response, just sending emails and
Oh, gotta get him back. 1 second. It's a real good interview right here.
Hey,
There we go.
sorry about that. Can you hear me? See me?
Yep.
Sorry about that. The perks of live events, right?
Right.
All right. Anyway, what was I just saying? To go back to what I was saying, I had a goal to be on TV. I started sending emails. I just started putting myself out there because at the end of the day, if no one knows who you are, then you're not going to get any opportunities. So I started emailing and putting my face and my accolades in front of the people that would make the decision. And ultimately, I got an email from one of the producers there, and they said, "James, we got your email. We love what you're doing, and we would love to have you on." And the rest is history.
Nice. Congrats on that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Um, what's one thing that you haven't done yet that you want to do?
Oh man, that's a great question. There's a lot, but we don't have hours to talk. So I'll give you the one that just came to my mind off the bat is to contribute on a national level on television.
Right. Like
That
where everybody can
that's
see it, right?
that yes, that is the goal. I've always had the goal to be on Fox News. I would say that is a huge goal of mine, to be on Fox News, be a contributor on Fox News. Because if you ever watch any news stations, it doesn't have to be Fox News. If you ever watch any news stations, they have on experts. Whatever the topic is that day for that segment, they'll have a corresponding expert for that topic. And there's a lot of times where I'll watch the news, Fox News, News Nation, CNN, any one of those networks, and they'll have on fitness or health experts to talk about what's going on with Robert F. Kennedy and the HHS, or they just had red dye got banned in the US, so they had an expert come on about that. So I would love to take my expertise in health and fitness and parlay that into a segment on Fox News.
Nice. That's gonna happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is, and I'm working towards that. That's a huge goal of mine. And at the end of the day, I think it's just going to take time, and I'm going to keep building up what I'm doing on NBC locally. And I love my NBC family, and I'm a reoccurring expert and guest on there, and I want to keep doing that. But eventually, I'm going to build up enough footage on myself and enough experience to parlay this amazing experience on NBC Connecticut, and then be on a national level.
Right. Don't stop. Keep going. It's gonna happen.
That's right.
And you know, you getting into the media world, how do you balance delivering high level fitness and like knowledge while making it accessible and engaging for television?
Well, I mean, that's the $1 million question. I mean, that's what I would assume separates the good from the great to the excellent. Um, it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of behind the scenes work. I'm actually planning my new segment coming up next Tuesday. I'm going to be on NBC again, filming my new in studio fitness segment. And right now, it's really just trying to balance exactly that. How can I make this fresh? How can I make this engaging? How can I make this accessible? Right? Because the people that are watching my fitness segments, they might be athletes like myself, or they might be moms or dads who have never worked out in their life. And I want to try to give the audience, whoever they might be, the best possible product. So I'm trying to juggle making it accessible for everyone, no matter who it is, no matter what their age or skill level, but also making it engaging. So the person watching on TV says, not only does this look helpful, but it looks fun, and the way that this individual is presenting these exercises is in a great way, and it's in a way that I want to get off my couch and move the coffee table, and I want to start doing these exercises too. So I want to motivate people, and I want people to understand that fitness doesn't have to be hard, and you don't have to spend hours in the gym. I want people to just be healthy, and I know that if they take 10, 15 minutes a day just to move their bodies, that they can feel great, and it's my job to help them do that in an accessible and fun way.
Right. Good tips right there. And what advice would you give to individuals who want a long-term health results rather than quick, short, live ones?
There's a couple. The first thing I would say is try to do it naturally. And what I mean by that is I wouldn't recommend any type of performance enhancing drugs. I know a lot of people will go that route to try to get a quick fix. So the first thing I would say is do it naturally. The second thing I would say is prioritize eating real whole foods, single ingredient foods. Try to, if you can, cook your foods at home, because if you're cooking at home, you know what's in the food you're making, as opposed to if you're eating out, you're getting something on a plate and you don't know what it's being cooked in or made with or what the ingredients are. So I would say do it naturally, prioritize whole single ingredient foods, prioritize your sleep. I would recommend 7, 8, 9 hours a night of solid slumber. Make sure the room is dark, make sure the temperature is cold, and make sure you turn off screens about an hour before you go to bed. On the exercise side of things, I would recommend at least 3 to 4 days a week of strength training. That means in the gym, you're lifting weights or you're doing pull-ups or push-ups or dips. And that's really going to help your overall your physical health, but also your mental health. A lot of people, including myself, when I exercise in the gym, I feel better mentally. And then I would at least do 1 day a week of cardio for the heart health benefits that cardio brings, and water intake. I would make sure I'm drinking at least a half gallon of water a day. Again, I'm not a physician, so these are all just suggestions. These are all things that I do. So do your own research, consult your doctor, of course. But I mean, if you're asking me what James Atheneos does on a daily basis, I get great sleep. I eat very clean. I drink my water, and I take vitamins. I would recommend vitamins. Again, do your own research, but I think vitamin D is great. Vitamin D really acts more as a hormone than it does a vitamin. And it can regulate your mood, especially in the winter when the sun's not out. Vitamin D is great, a nice multivitamin, and some vitamin C to help your immune system. So I know that was a long-winded answer, but maybe you can clip that up. But all those things, if you put those together, I think you'll be in pretty good shape.
Nice. Got to stay active.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially as we age, especially as you age, you got to stay active, keep the body moving. And something I didn't mention that I'll mention real quick is just mobility and flexibility. Sometimes when you're working out, you can get a little stiff, so to stretch is very important, especially as you get older.
Right. And how do you view your role as a fitness influencer in the community, and what responsibility comes with having that and you being on a platform?
That's interesting because I want people to watch me and see what I do and take me seriously, but I want people when they see me to think, okay, this guy, he's trying to help people. He has it together, and he he talks the talk, but he walks the walk. So as a fitness guy, right, people are going to look towards you for advice, and I want people to see the way I live and see that it matches what I say. Because I think that's really important. No matter what you do in life, it's important to kind of to walk in the life that you prescribe to others. So I just try to lead by example, and every day, if I'm going to be telling people to exercise and to eat healthy and to be physically and fit, then I better be doing that first and foremost before I go and tell anyone else to do it. And at the end of the day, I think it's really important just to talk the talk and to walk the walk. And if people are going to be listening to me and taking stock into my advice and what I say, then I want to make sure I do my research and give them truthful advice and make sure what I'm telling people is correct. And just be a constant student. I'm always learning and I'm always trying to get better. And that's it. At the end of the day, I'm going to do my absolute best to give people the best information and help them as best I can and let the chips fall where they may.
Right, man. This was a great episode. I really appreciate you for taking time. I got one more question for you.
Yes, sir.
Um, well, not a question, but you know, finally, what message or advice would you leave for the viewers in the audience who are inspired by your journey or want to take control of their health and performance?
I would say give your life to Christ. I'm a born again believer. I'm a Christian, and everything I do stems from that decision. So I live a great life. I love my life, and it's thanks to the Lord Jesus Christ. So I would say to everyone watching at home, give your life to Christ. He loves you, and He died on the cross for your sins. And that's the catalyst for everything I do in my life. Everything stems from that. It's the most important decision I've ever made in my entire life. And the health is great, and the media appearances are great, but it all stems from being a believer, and great things will come and grow in your life and manifest in your life if you do that. So to anyone watching at home and seeing this, and if you get anything from this podcast, it would be that.
Thank you, man. Big CT legend, James. Once again, I appreciate you for coming on the podcast.
Rome, I appreciate you having me on, man. Thank you so much, and hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you. Take care.
All right,
Peace.
man. Peace. Bye.